Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Coach Korner K4, episode 21, 22? 20,
Something like that.
22. I think it's 22. But yeah, so I'm your host, obviously. I'm always here. I'm also joined by the Imperator.
Hello.
He plays Kairo Zetsubo. I'm also joined
do.
by Javier.
Hello.
He plays something Wong. And that's it. The only character he plays now.
Just that.
Just that one guy, yeah. And Kyle will be here at some point, but for the moment he is absent. So I'm gonna ignore his non-existence. I have some quick summarizing to do. Last time on Dragon Ball Z, we fought the Ender Dragon, and
And Goku died again.
yeah, and Goku died again. What actually did happen last time? Last time. Oh yeah. I remember. Okay. Yes, last time, the group successfully handled the mission that Flavius had given Cairo as punishment for blowing up his penthouse and stuff. So that's good. They got that finished, and then they were made aware that the good old Hermes Johnson has another mission for them to do, and we left off with the group at the Condemned, basically hearing Captain's job pitch for the mission, and then he was like, he wants you guys to go to this really fancy restaurant or whatever.
Yeah. And then didn't we go to Dapper?
You did. You went to go get a nice suit and stuff to wear to the fancy restaurant. But everybody else either has a suit already or is a robot who can change his outfit by a hologram, so he doesn't need clothes.
I mean, fair enough.
So it is that evening. I am keeping track of the days left until the planned vacation to Berlin. So
nice.
There's 12 days left on that. So it is later that evening, probably 4:30 in the afternoon. Do you all go to the ministry, or do you not go to the ministry?
Yeah, I'll go.
Alrighty.
That's the name of the club, right?
Yes, that's the name of the very nice restaurant.
Okay.
Steven, where did you
Javier, where are you going? Are you going to go? He's gonna die.
I think I'll probably just perish.
Classic.
Just perish.
Just dissolve into
Then
ash.
perish.
Like you got Thanos snapped. Just dissolve. Alrighty. Well, you guys head to the club. Bonus and Nox will also be there. And again, for dramatic timing, you all arrive at the same exact moment. Like it's magic. And yeah, so the ministry is a pretty well-known restaurant. Not a restaurant. I guess it is kind of a restaurant. It's more a club than a restaurant. But
Hmm.
it is huge. It's a massive skyscraper, probably like a few dozen stories tall. And it looks like a really huge Victorian cathedral. And it takes up like a whole city block. This is a massive, massive structure. And then above like the huge double doors to this quote unquote cathedral, there's a huge like floating neon sign. This is like the ministry on it.
Hmm.
And there's a huge like long line and then like a couple of big bouncers out front.
All right. Well, since everybody's here, I guess we'll go in and tell them that we are to be expected, or we are expected here, and we have business with one of our associates.
Alrighty. So you walk up to the bouncers, and yeah, you just walk up and the bouncer's like, "What do you want?" And you're like, you give him like the name or whatever, and the bouncer just waves you through, doesn't say a word, and you guys are led through the main set of doors and into like the lobby. And there is like a nice reception's desk with a very kind of well dressed woman behind the counter, and she just kind of like presumably knows you guys are coming in, so she just gestures for you guys to follow like a very very nicely professionally dressed like waiter, and the waiter leads you guys through a separate door and into like this huge main like eating area, like this massive like room, and it has like dozens and dozens of different little tables and chairs and booths, and different chairs and stuff are like elevated at like different tables are like elevated on different little platforms, and then in the center of the room is a big like raised circular platform where there is a live orchestra playing a bunch of classical music with the conductor
Hmm.
and everything, very very fancy. And there are a bunch of different like groups of people at their seats talking, eating, hushed tones. Everybody's very very well dressed, and you all look, as always, impeccable. Um, Bonus in his nice suit, Nox in her pantsuit, and the waiter leads you guys to like the side of the building, this big room where there is like a little kind of alcove in the wall, or like a kind of like semicircular kind of like divot where there's like a big tall thin windows in the wall and stuff. It's all stone, very very nice. And it's like a little
Hmm.
rounded booth, and seated at the booth in the so you know how like the semicircle booths are. He's in the middle of it, and he just kind of like the Hermes Johnson is just kind of lounging there at in his seat with his like arms up, and he is dressed in an incredibly nice suit. One you guys would probably recognize by the titanium threading and the diamond buttons.
He was the one. He was the one that ordered it. We went through all of that for his suit.
Yeah, man. But he looks impeccable in it too. He looks downright dapper, one would say.
What happened?
Look who decided to show up.
Wow. You're right, Sasha. Look who decided to show up.
Yeah. You missed going to the club, and we're now in the club.
Damn.
Yeah. So your Dapper is there, and a Dapper. Hermes Johnson, and he's in the nice Dream Edition Gianni Santini bespoke suit you guys stole before. Looks amazing. He has his nice hair combed over. He's wearing like mirrored aviator sunglasses indoors because he's that kind of scumbag.
Guy.
And you guys approach, and the waiter kind of like sets down these actual real menus, which is super rare in the far flung future. These actual menus down in your places, and then the waiter walks away. The waiters, I should know, all are wearing like ceramic masks to hide their actual faces. It's kind of weird. And the Hermes Johnson, he sees you guys sitting there, and he's like, "Ah, if it isn't my favorite group of friends, please, please sit down, take a seat, or whatever you like. It's on the house today."
All right. Carol probably ordered like a steak.
What kind of steak?
New York strip.
All right, all right. Okay, you can get that.
The
you
only
can get
kind
that.
of steak.
The only kind. I think Bonus would order like. I think he would order like a whole lobster.
Just a whole lobster.
The whole
Whole
lobster.
lobster.
The whole uncooked live lobster. He wants to kill it himself.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that are alive.
He wants to see him
He
like
just
crawl around the
stabs-
table.
He stabs the lobster through the table.
You have this Titanite knife. He just pins it there, and then he just like cuts the knife in half to get the lobster out. And then he just eats it off the knife.
Nah, he's got to use his arm blade, bro.
This. It's just barbarism at its best.
For sure.
Mhm.
What do the rest of you order?
Cup of water.
You order the
Margarita.
free water. Great.
Yeah. Well, you got to make sure you order water. You never know if they give it out ready or not. Margarita, 2 of them.
Just margarita.
Yeah. Probably a burger. Yeah.
Very classy indeed.
I don't think
They
I'm
bring
gonna,
you out
gonna
a
have
cow,
a
you
burger
gotta
on
kill
order
it
here.
yourself.
You know, I kind of forgot that we were in a classy one. Okay. Not a burger, because fuck. Do they got like good ass seafood stuff? Got the fine dining sushis or no?
Fine dining sushis? Probably not. This is more of like a Northern European styled fancy restaurant.
What about fish though?
They got fish.
Alright, I'll take fish. I'm pretty sure it's like fucking flounder. Is that it?
That's
I
a kind
forget.
of fish, yes.
No, it's the one that I like. Screw it. I'll take like salmon. Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. You order some nice flounder. Does Oid get anything, or do you just sit there awkwardly?
I'm going to sit there, yeah. Actually, no. I'm gonna order something like a really expensive drink just for the hell of it.
Okay, so you order like like one of the like premium aged like 10-year bottles of wine, and then just like get like the diamond, not the diamond, the gold like filigree in the wine, and you just like drink the whole thing and just totally waste it.
Nah, he sits there and doesn't drink it the whole time.
To drink, Cairo's gonna order a fine glass of bourbon aged whiskey. Or bourbon barrel aged whiskey, I should say.
I think Bonus probably would get a similar similar deal.
Stealing
Well, it
the
is a steal. It is a steal because we're
Yeah,
getting
it's
it for
free.
free.
All right, I think the Hermes Johnson would order like a whole pig with the apple in its mouth and everything.
How big is this table?
Well, it's a pretty big table. It can fit all of you guys comfortably. So
Well, of course they would bring the pig
yeah,
over on like a spigot.
Well, yeah, it's on like a metal trolley, and then like they have like a personal chef that stands there the entire time you guys are talking and just cuts meat for him.
Well, wouldn't that be
Yeah.
kind of compromising to the secrecy of this job?
Yeah, but
Seeing
this
as
place
our
is
boss
like,
is a company man.
yeah, but it's also seeing as you guys can order like uh pretty illegal stuff on that menu, like drugs and stuff. You get the idea that
Dude,
this restaurant doesn't care.
I
No
was
one
gonna make
told
that
me
joke.
that.
Yeah, I was gonna make the joke. I'm like, drugs?
Yeah,
No one
bro.
told me that was on the menu.
They have people on the menu too, by the way, not to eat, but to have.
Oh, to have.
To
Like
have.
forever?
No, not forever, but hourly service.
Well, I mean, if it's on the house.
I
Do you ask the
mean,
Johnson if he's gonna pay for that, or do you just order it and hope he does?
I would like a exotic dancer named Cynthia, please.
So yes, and I would like Crystal with a K.
Andy
I
with
would
an
like,
I.
I would like
Andy with
Cookie with a silent C.
Copy.
So okay.
So Oogie is what I'm
Damn,
hearing.
bro.
And 5 pounds of crack cocaine and black tar heroin.
Let me get an entire heaping serving of crystal meth.
I want it to look like Heisenberg in here. All right, just give me the whole barrel.
I'm not gonna do that, but part of me does.
I think the Hermes Johnson would definitely order at least like a joint. It's because he's that kind of guy.
I'll take part in that.
All right, he orders you your own, because he's not the sharing kind of guy.
Fair enough.
He's
It's
generous,
like,
but he's
wait,
not sharing.
you don't want to share the joint, bro? Come on. Might as well just order a hookah for the whole table.
And he just like,
Don't do that.
if you want one, then you can, but
No, I don't want one. I'll drink on the job. I won't smoke.
That's boring though.
Hermes Johnson is just like whatever floats your boat. Alright, speaking of which, yeah, when you guys, because I wasn't here, so I forgot to do this bit. But when you guys would have like walked up and stuff after the Johnson kind of like invited you guys to sit down, he would have seen that Knox is a new person and been like, I see that you fine folks have gotten yourself a new and lovely member. And he would stand up and he would like kiss the top of your hand, and then like offer you to sit down.
I don't blush, but I generously say thank you, and that's it.
And then he kind of sits down after you, and he's like, the serious type. I like it. And then he just sits down after you guys, and he's like,
Is he
"Nah."
sitting next to me or
Does he-
across from me?
He's sitting like in the middle, so there's like the semicircle, right? And he's sitting in the apex, the vertex of the parabola, if you want to be fancy. So he's sitting in the middle, and you guys are just like sitting around him, but in whatever order, I don't care.
Does he do like the double eyebrow lick thing?
No, he would have done
Like
that
does
while
he
you guys
lick
were
his
walking up.
thumbs and like
No, his
smooth out his
eyebrows.
eyebrows?
His eyebrows come pre-licked.
He
Come
licked them.
freely. He's got a person for that.
Probably at this point. But yeah, so after you guys ordered all your food and drinks and stuff, and they all come into the table, and the personal chef begins cutting off a flank of pork for the Hermes Johnson. The Johnson's like, so it's like I believe we have some new introductions to make, isn't that right? And he kind of turns over to Knox, and he's like, you can call me the Johnson.
I really thought you were about to say something else, bro.
But your
Had a
companions call
minute
me.
amount of hope.
It's like that. Your companions like to call me the Hermes Johnson, although they do know my real name.
It's Johnson.
It's not. But as far as you're
You've
concerned,
been
it's
me
like
this whole time.
like now that you guys have hit the big leagues, you should call me Johnson. So I'm not gonna complain anymore.
Wait, so his name's not Johnson, but you should be calling
No,
me
it's
Johnson.
Johnson.
And he's like, yes, it's for the anonymity between client and customer, you know?
No, he's
Well,
wrong. His name is just Johnson.
It's not, but whatever floats your boat.
alright.
I love making people mad.
Yeah, I'll just introduce myself. I'm like, okay, Johnson. Being like, what the? Anyways, I'll feel like you can just call me Knox.
And the Johnson's like, I like it, I like it. And he's like, well, it's kind of a bit down to business then, I suppose. And it kind of like reaches into his jacket, and he pulls out a couple of like like smartphones, like probably like four smartphones. There's four of you, so four smartphones, and he puts them in a like neat stack on the table next to him. Um, and he's like, so the guy decided that your recent, well, it's like my recent business with a certain something Wong, and he kind of like gestures over to Oid. He's like, have given me quite a bit of profits off of those substantial deliveries to Outcast's concert. So I figured that I would spread some of that love around as a sign of gratitude and give you folks the first choice at a job I have lined up. Like, now that you guys are in the big leagues, you shouldn't have any issue with this. I don't think. He's like, but to give you a preliminary, he's like, I suspect that my direct boss at the local Hermes branch, who's the manager of the entire kind of facility, the entire branch, I suspect that he has hired some premier wiring agents to infiltrate the incoming group of unpaid college interns to investigate me and dig up some dirt. And he's like, now, I assure you, there's very little dirt that he could possibly dig up, besides, of course, my involvement with you lot, since Hermes prefers that we keep our business within the company, and they frown upon mercenary work, but I don't care. And he's like, so while I don't have any dirt for them to dig up besides that, the hiring of mercenaries would still be plenty of an excuse for them to deny me an upcoming promotion. And as I'm sure you can understand, that's not gonna fly. So I
Yeah,
want
kill him.
like, well, hold on. He's like, we'll get there. We'll get there, honey. All right. I like how you work, but that comes after we find proof that he's hired some foreign corporate agents to infiltrate and spy on his own employees. So I want you lot to go in as new employees and/or new interns. Go undercover for me. Talk to the different interns that are there, and figure out and who among them, if any of them, are in fact premier wiring investigators. And the pay for this job is $15,000 apiece.
All right. You've got my interest. But I have one question. So to you want us to go in as mercenaries and prove that he's that or well, I don't know how I had this phrased, but so you want us to go in as mercenaries and gain information from other mercenaries.
Just like, well, I want you to go in disguised as other interns and new employees that I have hired. I'll explain the roles in a moment. He's like, but yes, I want you to go in, and I'll take you to work with me tomorrow, and I want you to talk to the other interns, discuss with them, figure out what they're like, or what their background is, background search them a little bit, and decide if any of them are, in fact, horrible, dirty spies. If they are,
Hmm.
either take them out yourselves or bring them to me. I do ask that if there is more than one, we leave at least one of them alive, because I need some interrogation to to be done. Hope you understand.
Fair enough.
Does it sound amicable to all of you, or have any more questions before I decide? Before I give them more details?
Okay, so what's the catch?
Well, there is no catch, my new good-looking friend. There's just, you go in undercover and you'll play different roles as new identities, and he kind of taps the phones on next to him. He's like, these cell phones all contain falsified cons that you will all use to gain access to the facility under your new cover identities.
Hmm.
He's like, and I also have a small dossier on the different interns that I can provide to you ahead of time that I was given upon inquiry with my superiors. There is 5 of them.
Well, all right then. I'm also gonna give the Johnson a little head notice, or well, heads up. In about what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, like it's 12 days is when the vacation
Is when we're
delayed.
going on vacation. All right.
Yeah.
In about 2 weeks, we're going on vacation, so keep that in mind.
And the Hermes Johnson is like, "Oh, I'm very aware, my friend. I'm very aware. Don't you worry." He's like, "I've got another job lined up after this one, but it shouldn't take that long. And for your little bit of extra compensation, I'm willing to provide you all with a little special gift that ought to improve your vacationing experience if you do these 2 jobs successfully for me."
Well, all right then.
And then you all receive a a file packet basically that is the information on the 5 interns. So I will put all of their names in chat, but I will read them out loud when I'm done, just so that the viewers at home know what I'm, you know. Right, that's the first one. Oh, this is the second one. Alrighty, so yeah, and he kind of you receive all of that stuff, and he's like, in terms of your no new identities for the undercover portion, he's like, I have some pre-chosen roles for all of you to play. Um, he's like, Pharaoh, you're going to be my new personal IT intern and assistant. You'll go around, handle the server rooms and the my personal computers and stuff. And he points to Oid, and he's like, "You will be my new personal secretary," following me around as that. And he points to Bonus and Nox. He's like, "And you two will be my new personal security guards." And he's like, "And if anybody,"
Yeah, that sounds fair.
he's like, "and if anybody asks, yes, you all were vetted by the proper Hermes authorities and were interviewed and background checked and everything of the like." He's like, "The details of your new identities can be decided amongst yourselves if phones are fully customizable. I don't care what you make yourselves, what you make your name, so long as it is believable."
Hmm. Uh, I don't know what I want my name to be yet. I'll let everybody else go first.
I mean, we don't have to decide, decide this moment.
I've got it. I've got it.
All
What
right.
is it?
Mernarius Jaquarius.
Okay.
I'll put it in chat.
All right, and then the names of the different interns for the viewers experience. The first one is Andrew Stevenson. Second one is Colleen Richards. Third one is Chad Bradley. The fourth one is Maxwell Breeson, and the fifth one is Jeremy Potts.
We have to keep Chad, the last one, alive.
Chad lives.
Chad Bradley.
Chad Bradley needs to live.
But yeah, so you guys can pick your identification, doesn't matter. And the Johnson's like, so yes, tomorrow there will be a limousine arriving at your, at your, well, would be at your homes, would be at the Condemned at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning to pick you all up. I'll be, of course, in the limousine. From there, we will drive to the corporate sector, drive to the Hermes branch, and once we get inside, you all have free reign. And if anybody, if you go somewhere and somebody asks why you're there, tell them that I sent you, and they shouldn't give you too much trouble.
All right.
Cool. So, you just get a time skip.
Yeah.
All right. So, 5 days left till rent, 11 days till vacations. You guys finish your meal. You go your separate ways. Does anybody want to do anything for the rest of the evening and night, or just gonna go home, take a nap, wake up, get ready?
Sounds about what I'll do. Not much I want to do.
Money.
Isn't enough time to make any money, you greedy bugger.
Hmm. I suppose I'll probably just work out at home for a bit, repolish my guns, clean them, and then go back to bed.
All right. Oid, are you going to do anything in particular, or?
Not really. I don't have anything to do, to be honest.
All right.
Harold will probably end up getting his outfit ready and everything.
Oh yeah, I gotta change my fucking clothes, right? You just reminded me. Can't go in looking the same.
I'm probably going to keep at least. Actually, I could probably keep both of my pistols on me.
I mean, you don't know if you're going to be searched or anything going in there, but you can ask the Johnson if that's something you want to inquire about.
Yeah, I'll ask. I'll text him.
All right. So he texts back that the company has basically like X-rays and like metal detectors that will pick up if you have firearms on you. So unless it's like built into your arm or something, he wouldn't recommend you bring something in. However, bonus and knocks are allowed to because they're the security detail.
Ah, sick.
I mean, I've got my stun batons.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you have your built-in stun baton, and Oid has his needle hand and stuff. Although I think Oid's holdout pistol wouldn't be detected by searchers, but it would be picked up by the like X-ray stuff, the metal detectors.
So wait, what would be detected? My batons?
No, your batons wouldn't be detected
Okay,
because they're
cool.
built into your arm, so like it would just come up on the scanner as you have bionic hands and like arms, so it wouldn't like they can't see that deep into your like metal body, basically.
Nice. I have 2 bionic arms.
And then I think probably the Johnson would probably text Oid and tell you to go in. Tell you that he's going to have you enter through like the executive, like the special entrance, so you don't have to pass through any metal detectors and get pinged as a robot.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Can't. I
Uh,
forgot what was Oid again. Oid was who for the Hermes?
he is his personal secretary, personal assistant.
Nice. That's the second time he's been a secretary or
It
assistant.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Cairo is the IT guy, and then you and Bonus are the bodyguards, basically. All right. So yeah, so you all go to do your stuff. You wake up, you get your nice business like a white dress shirt, black slacks, dress shoes, socks, combed hair, whatever.
Gotta make sure them sunglasses are on, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely coordinate a nice outfit with Bonus. Can't be mismatched as the two bodyguards, bro.
I mean, Bonus will tell you that he's just going to wear like an all black suit with like uh, a probably a yellow undershirt because that's the Hermes colors is like yellow. So yeah, yellow undershirt, black suit, black tie, with his pistols underneath under his arms. Because he bought a second pistol, by the way. He has the
Oh
parallel
yeah, that's
processing
right.
stuff, so he has two guns now. He is
Hmm.
peak bonus now. He's bonus 2.0.
Yeah, I'll probably do the same. Affix the katana to my back. Gotta make sure that's there.
Mm.
Uh, I won't bring the assault rifle. I'll bring my deagle.
All right, you have three
Sounds
Desert
about right.
Eagles amongst two people. Talk about DPS, Jesus.
Hmm.
But yeah, so you all wake up, you get your outfits on, and sure enough, you all receive like a text saying that the limousine's outside to pick you up. You guys go out there, you get in the limousine. It's a very, 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 very nice limousine. You guys would probably recognize it from the earlier missions you did for him. You guys, you'd get in, and he's sipping like a little mini glass of champagne from like the cooler built into the armrest, and he's sitting there, and you all get into the car, and as you begin to enter the corporate sector, he kind of swishes the champagne in his glass, and he's like, "Well, don't you all just look spiffing,
Spiffing or spiffy?
spiffing?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think you lot clean up much better than I thought you would, given that you're all mercs."
Hey, just because we're mercenaries doesn't mean we don't know how to get dressed up.
Nah, some people don't. They really don't.
They may not, but they don't speak for all of us.
Great. I should also ask Mr. Oid, what do you look like right now? What kind of disguise have you put on for this?
I'm probably just gonna go with my like John Smith disguise.
Okay, yeah. So you're just your everyman generic white guy disguise. Okay, cool.
The uranium Jew.
But yeah, so okay. So the Johnson's like, alrighty, well, I think you'll all need these, and then he also gives you all like little Hermes like ID cards and stuff. Uh, for you all to attach to your like suit jackets or your shirt pocket or whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah, so he hands you all that stuff, and he's like, "All right, well, it's like I'm coming up on the corporate sector right about now, so let me do the talking, would you? I don't want us to get stopped."
Mm. Alright, fine.
And sure enough, you guys, for the first time, for pretty much all of you, you pull up to the massive, shining chrome wall that divides the corporate sector from the rest of the city.
I'm gonna turn to the Johnson and I'm gonna tell him, oh yeah, by the way, you might have an opportunity to get a new headquarters.
And he's like, "Ah, do I now?"
Yeah. You heard of a place called Tenacity Tower?
Like, oh well, of course I have. Isn't that didn't the top couple of floors of that place get blown up a couple days ago?
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about, but the previous inhabitants might be vacating it very soon.
And Johnson's like, well, thank you very much for the tip, Mister Jaquarius.
Anytime.
And he's like, and if you know if we end up following up on that little piece of information, maybe I'll reward you for your time.
You should snag it before the church does.
Agreed.
And yeah, so you guys pull up to the massive gatehouse for the corporate zone, and this is probably the most security any of you have ever seen. There is like, it's like I don't know. I know that John's been to West Point, but they have like the tent with like the X-ray machines that can like see into the car to see if you have like bombs or weapons hidden in the vehicle and stuff like that. You guys pass over that, and there's like this big like a metal like rack that slides and scans the whole length of the car a couple times. There are like drones, there are huge mounted turrets on the wall, and like lower ones that are aimed at the car. There are a whole bunch of guards in exosuits. Um, hover drones that are circling the area. It's super intense. And one of the guards, a Queen Enterprises soldier, like an actual proper soldier, knocks on the door with his knuckle, and Johnson rolls the window down, and he just kind of like hands him like. Well, you guess would assume he like sends him his like AR, like his con number or his con stuff, and the cop looks at it for a second, and then he kind of like leans back away from the car window again, and he makes like a circling hand gesture off to the side, and the gate slides back over to the right, and the cop like smacks the side of the limousine to let the driver know to go. Johnson opens the window back up, and you guys begin to enter the corporate sector. Uh, this place is like probably the most over the top, luxurious, opulent, clean, fancy place any of you have ever been. This makes like the ministry look like a joke. Like the streets are pristine, the sidewalks are perfectly white, the buildings are perfectly white. Every blade of grass, every tree, fern, bush, flower is perfectly trimmed, perfectly placed. It's all intelligently designed, manicured to like absolute perfection, and like every car passing through here is like super high end luxury sports car or a big limousine of some kind. The streets have like built-in hologram projectors instead of street lights, so like like this big hologram of like a dude holding up his hand colored bright red to say when to stop, and he turns green when you go and stuff like that. The actual like lines on the road are all also holographic, and the streets
Huh.
are metal. They're not actually asphalt. They're all metal. Um, and yeah, like it's super swanky. There are a bunch of hover cars passing overhead, and you guys take probably like another 20 minutes to get to the Hermes branch from
So
here.
Cairo's gonna make a small comment, and he's just gonna say like, "Yeah, man, this place makes even the normal high end area look like shit."
And Jensen kind of turns to you, and he kind of puts his empty champagne glass back onto like the armrest, and it automatically slides into the fridge, it's like kind of like a little mini elevator. Johnson kind of like chuckles to himself. He's like, "To go, my boy, you don't know the half of it. Like this place is only the beginning. It isn't even the nicest corporate sector in this city, let alone on the planet."
Cairo's gonna make another statement, and this is why I need a vacation.
Johnson's like, "Don't you worry, my friend. It's like the gift I have planned. It's like all of you are gonna be spending a good couple of days in a place that makes this place look pretty average." Uh,
Interesting. I wonder what you've got cooking up for us over in Berlin.
he's like, "Oh, don't you worry." He's like, I've got a nice little extra bit of your vacation in mind, courtesy, of course, of Hermes Corporation."
Hopefully, no more walls. Didn't work out too well the first time they tried to do it.
And he's like, yeah, no more, no more big walls.
Mr. Gorbachev.
Like, well, there are still walls for the corporate sector, but the,
Well, of course.
the old Berlin Wall is, of course, no longer there. I think there's still a museum that has a piece of it out there somewhere. I don't know. I've never been.
Speaking of, that would be a good stop on the trip.
He's like, I'll add it to my my travel agent's requirements. And you see him like tap away on an AR screen for a second, and then you guys pull into the basically the way this course is set up is that there are these massive skyscrapers, and then they're like apartment buildings, and then there are these huge tracts of land that are walled off with like big metal walls, barbed wire, security cameras, turrets, and then in the middle of these massive fields there is the actual skyscraper for the actual corporation.
Hmm.
And so you guys pull up to the Hermes kind of property, and you go through another security check. The guards scan the car again, and the gate slides away. You guys are allowed inside. You guys drive down this like smaller road, actual asphalt road. You go around this little carpool into an underground like garage, and then you guys get out, and Johnson's like, so, folks, he's like, welcome to Hermes Corporation, branch number 873. And he's like, Nux and bonus, if you wouldn't mind following me really quick. I have an early morning meeting I have to attend with some of my subordinates with regards to recent logistical issues in the city. He's like, and Mr. Oid, he's like, in Oid you get like an automatic. Basically, you all get maps of the skyscraper, and this place is huge. It is easily 200 plus floors, and there are massive floors. The lower levels all have like movie theaters, bowling alleys, VR dens, all sorts of different stuff. And then the upper floors have like the offices and server rooms, and the top floor has a hover car hangar and like an actual like jet hangar. So pretty cool. And then of course there's a roof that has a helipad and a VTOL pad. And yeah, so you get all the maps, and he's like, Mr. Oid or Mr. Smith, I'd like you would mind if you wouldn't head over to my office, introduce yourself to my secretary there, and get to talking. And he's like, the new intern should be arriving via bus in a few minutes. So after my meeting, we'll reconvene in my office and figure out where these interns are going to be, so you guys can intercept them and have a quick chat.
Alright, guess I'll make myself useful and get to the IT room.
Alrighty, yeah, we'll do since Kyle has. I guess he's back now. So yeah,
I was here the whole time.
Okay. So we'll do the server room first. But yeah, so you get into the elevator and you climb to the only the second or third floor, and you get out of the elevator, and the elevator like for this, so you get the elevator opens, and it's like this huge like warehouse basically of server banks, and they're all like blinking lights, and there's the sound of just like whirring fan whirring is like near deafening. There's so many fans and the air conditioning and the climate control and ridiculous. And you can see there are a bunch of other employees with like tablets walking around, and they're all like fiddling with like server like banks, and they're all like slotting stuff in and out, or like typing away on the built-in laptops and the server towers and stuff.
So basically, Cairo sees this and it's just like,
Kid in a candy store?
Yeah,
yes,
basically.
absolutely. Cairo is absolutely a kid in a candy store. He has never seen processing power like this big.
Yeah, it is. It is like you'd assume probably over 100 server towers in here.
You're telling me it can power the U.S.?
Yeah, this place. Well, this is
Theoretically.
the server room that you very quickly gather just like about being in here. That this room, this like server floor, is the processing power for all of Hermes' uh, logistical data for this section of Ryanstown. So all of the delivery information, all of the clientele information, all the orders, imports, exports from the harbor, all of the industry, all of the employee records, money transactions, everything goes through this server room.
And what a
Question.
shame it would be if someone were to suddenly turn against Hermes Johnson,
Yes, and then get promptly murdered by the automated security in this place.
All right. I have a question that I'm going to DM the Hermes Johnson.
Sure, you text the Hermes Johnson.
Would it be bad if I intercepted a couple of packages and redirected the delivery address to my place?
He's like, depends on the stuff, but generally, yes, it's pretty bad.
Nothing big, just some computer parts.
He sends back a suspicious emoji.
Like
The
I'm
hell is
talking
this
about like
vicious
I'm talking
emoji?
about like a graphics card and like a new GPU at max. Like is that bad?
Like you realize you could just buy one and then plug the order right into the system and like put yours as the priority.
But they're expensive is my point. Like can't I just like take some schlump hacker's order?
If you're asking if it's bad, it's probably bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
So I'm gonna text him and be like, all right, I'm gonna rephrase this. If I were to, I don't know, accidentally, quote unquote, redirect a a rival hacker's order who is no longer on this earthly plane order to my house, would that be bad?
It's like, well, if they're dead and the order is still in place, then I don't think anybody would notice if you redirected it. No.
Okay, good. I'm gonna message Oid really quick and be like, "Do you have a picture of the lady that attacked me, or well, hacked my apartment's body?"
Oid presumably would, or else I don't know. I guess would you?
Because
You saw
remember
her
the lady
body.
that was dead in the lobby?
Yeah, the bonus shot.
Well,
in the
yeah,
face.
I know who you're talking about, but I'm trying to think why I would take a picture of a corpse,
I don't know. Did you?
like just some random corpse.
Did you?
No, no, we didn't.
No. Goddamn.
Why do you
Wait,
need a
wouldn't I have
picture?
like?
I mean, I could probably
Cause,
like fabricate something, but
cause I need to get her face to see if she has any incoming deliveries.
But you could go back into like your memory banks or whatever, and like bring out the memory of you looking at the body, and then use that. Kind of a low quality JPEG of the face, but should be enough to get the job done.
Nice, nice. I'm trying to steal her packages.
You go to her and find out there's none.
I mean, I'd be okay with that.
Alrighty, so I assume then that Oid will go through his memory information and pull up the hacker woman's face and then send it over to Chiron. So yes, you have her, the face of her corpse.
All right, I'll plug that face into the database and see if there's any deliveries matching.
I mean, you would get like, if you like reverse image searched her face on like the internet, you would probably, after some searching, give me a perception check to find the
All
information.
right. That's an 8.
All right, so you find that on the internet she goes by the alias of Audience.
Okay.
Cringe.
Yeah, that is kind of cringe. That's a bad name.
She's dead, so who cares?
Yeah, she's not a very good hacker. She's dead. Uh, but yeah, all right. I'll look up anything under that alias on the database.
Alrighty. No, sadly, there doesn't appear to be any current orders. She does have previous orders, though.
Can I charge it to her bank account? Is the question. All right. So I'm gonna. All right. I'm gonna charge to her account a new processing or a new graphics card and a new processor.
You would not have access to your banking information from
Okay.
Hermes' stuff.
Damn. All right. All right. Then I'll just plug in an order for, a new graphics card and a new processor.
All right. That's $3,000. I'll say.
All right. It's priority, so
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So
gets there soon.
Yeah. So you put it in what is it? Hermes Prime that I called it. The same day delivery.
Hermes now.
Hermes now. Okay. Yeah, so you put it under Hermes Prime and you get it, and it says like, oh, your package will be delivered tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, whatever.
Nice. I could get used to this.
Quit
I'm also
being a
gonna make
mercenary.
I'm gonna make one more order.
Sure.
I'm going to get a new chip for
Okay, a new personality chip then?
Well, yeah, but it's something to make him a little more personable.
So you want to get like a more advanced personality chip.
Yes. How much would that run me?
I guess it depends on like how, like, do you want like a full-on AI, or just like a Siri level intelligence with a like created personality?
Nah, bro, get Cortana
Um,
level. Just make sure she doesn't go rampant.
Yeah, like, you looking for like Skynet, or are
um,
you just looking for like?
something that can operate on its own.
With
Okay.
emotions?
Well,
Well,
like,
not with emotions, but like, it can do things without having me tell it.
So a Terminator.
yeah, that sounds like an actual like an AI, not a very advanced AI. It would be like below
Like
human level, but
a basic AI chip. Like you know how like the chess AI operates, something like
yeah.
that. It can calculate moves without me having to tell it. I want
Uh,
more processing power from my boy.
okay.
My boy needs some more processing power. So I guess I need a new processor for him. Then.
Okay.
Because he can already communicate back and forth with me
Yeah.
and like feed me information. So for right now, I guess a new processor would be suffice.
Okay. I'll run that at like another $1,000 because it has to be miniaturized to fit
Deal.
in the body.
Deal.
And that will, and then all three of those things then will arrive tomorrow at like 8 in the morning instead of 7 in the morning or something.
Nice. All right. Now what am I looking for here? Like precisely, what does he need me to find?
Evidence that any of the interns aren't actual interns and are undercover corporate spies.
Okay. I'm gonna start plugging names into the database.
All right. Make me. Actually, yeah. So, are you just throwing every name into the database?
Well, not all at once, but I'm gonna go
Yeah,
down the
one at a
list.
time. Okay. So don't make me
Do
check
I
this
need secure like stealth checks?
out. No, you have the clearance to check
Oh,
on
cool.
Also,
Alright, fire.
if you don't have the clearance for it, you just text to Hermes Johnson, and he'll give you clearance to check on their names and stuff. So, yeah,
Alright,
so
dope.
you look up Andrew Stevenson. His employee records state that he is a statistics major at the biggest local university that's like the kind of like an Ivy League, is a course called Vancloras University, because of course it is. And it is a Korean Enterprises owned, corporate owned university. And Mr. Stevenson is a stat major. He has a bachelor's degree. Is working on his master's right now. Chad Bradley is a communications major. His dossier says that he has a father who works for Hermes, but a different branch in a different state, a different super city. It would probably be like Houston or something like Texas. But yeah, so he's a communications major at like the local bad university. Mr. Bradley is also a varsity football player at his university. And like yeah, man, Stevens also give with like test records. Stevens is he scored very, very high. Bradley scored very, very low, as you would expect. Ms. Richards, Colleen Richards, she is a marketing major at Vancouver University. She scored above average, but not like genius level. And she has records of having been a varsity track athlete. Mr. Breeson is a business major at Vancouver University. His father also works for Hermes. His father works in this branch of Hermes, where you are currently.
Okay.
And his test scores are perfectly average. His LCA would have a note on the bottom of it that basically says like, "Give my son a good job or else," signed, and then his father's name. And then Jeremy Potts, he is listed as an accounting major. He, accounting major. His test scores are good. He was also listed as having been a chess club president at his university, and he is listed as going to the same university as Chad Bradley does, the same like community college basically. That doesn't exist because there's no government to pay for them, but the lower quality like Xenocorp University basically.
Yeah. All right.
That's all
So
it
if I
is.
had to suspect any of them being a spy, it would probably be the person with the highest test scores, right? Unless they're all spies. So I guess I'm gonna look more into their employment records.
Okay. So employment records. Okay. One moment, please.
I'm also checking around me to make sure that no one's like, watching over my shoulder or anything or nothing like that.
Give me a perception check to look over your shoulder.
That is a 9.
Ooh, okay. So you see, what's his name? Someone that because you also have like their faces and stuff, what they look like, and you see Jeremy Potts, walking around through the server maze, with a tablet in his hand, going over and looking at stuff and like doing his job presumably.
Okay, really quick, I'm gonna try and talk to him. Can I diagnose any problems that are coming from the servers? Really quick.
Diagnose any problems with it? Yeah, sure. Make me an intelligence check.
Oh, that's a straight 10. Let's go.
Okay. You would, because yeah. So you kind of like jack into the server tower that you're working on, and even though none of the other employees have wiring that lets them check in. You check in because you're that special. And you kind of are in like cyberspace. You're in VR in the Matrix, and you detect an outgoing download
An
from
outgoing download from the
the
servers?
Yes, from the servers.
Interesting. Can I triangulate where it's coming from?
It would say like an external drive, like a flash drive or an unattached server slicer. So some kind of external storage device.
Okay. And it's coming from where?
That information would not be listed, but it would tell you which server is downloading, and it gives you like a number in the maze somewhere.
Okay. Can I highlight it on some sort of like server map?
Yeah, you can highlight it on your map. You have your AR
Okay.
map.
Nice. All right, let me do that and I'll start rushing over to that server.
All right, so you rush over to the server, and you walk up to the server. Nobody's around.
I'll search the server for like the USB stick.
All right, give me a perception check.
That is a 6.
All right, you kind of fiddle around. You kind of take a peek around the server tower, and eventually you find a like very very tiny USB drive, like barely noticeable. You probably wouldn't have seen it unless you were looking for it. And you see it, and I assume you take it out.
Well, I'm gonna eject it first.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you take it out, and yeah, you do so.
All right, so that's going. Um, I'm gonna. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna like open a tiny like sliver of my of the compartment that holds my stun batons, and I'm gonna slide the USB in there
Okay. You do so. You just kind of
just so
get
that
there.
it doesn't get detected.
Yeah. Okay. You do so.
And then I'll tell the Hermes Johnson that what I found.
Alrighty. Okay. So you text Hermes Johnson, and you're like, found a data breach. Somebody was downloading something onto a USB drive. I have the USB drive. Is that the gist of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll go to the main station where I was sitting.
Okay. So as you make your way back to the main station you were sitting, you see Jeremy Potts walking in the opposite direction you're going, back towards the server tower you just left.
Interesting. I think Jeremy Potts is our mole. Time to text the Johnson.
He would text you first and say, tell you to meet him at his office after his meeting to give him the USB drive, basically.
All right. So I'm gonna go back to the main station, log out, and then call out to anybody near me. Hey, going on my 10-minute smoke break.
And you hear a couple of guys that are like, all right, sure. And then one guy's like, oh, I'm gonna do that too. And he gets off from his station, and is walking towards the door.
Oh fuck! Oh shit! Oh fuck! No, if I don't actually go on a smoke break.
He doesn't actually like look at you or wait for you or anything. He just like gets up and goes.
Okay, good. So I'll start making my way towards the elevator, and then go to his office because I don't know what time his meeting's gonna end.
Okay. Yeah, so we can cut over to who wants to go first, Wade or Kyle? And bonus.
Kyle here.
No.
He said BRB.
Oh no.
No. Okay, so we'll do Oid first then. So, Mr. Oid, you do as you were ordered, and you head up the elevator to the Johnson's office. He has an upper floor office, being that he is. You will also learn his like rank, his job title. He is listed as the manager of imports for this district of Ryanstown. Basically, he's the boat guy. Pretty important job. Pretty high up there. And so basically the elevator door opens and it's this long hallway with doors every couple dozen yards, and they each have like they're like the kind of hazy glass doors, with the name plaque on them and stuff. And you just follow your map down the hallway until you find the door with his name on it. His actual name, for those who care, his actual name is, I believe where is it? I have it somewhere. Oh, it's up here. Right. Because I have his character sheet here. His name is Braden Zanthorpe.
That's the Johnson's name?
Yep.
Why?
Why? Because it's an over-the-top crazy name for an over-the-top crazy guy.
Okay.
But yeah, so you approach, and like you hear a little like positive beeping sound that comes from the door. The door automatically opens and slides to the side, and you walk in. There is the receptionist's desk, and it is currently abandoned. There's like the desk, and there's some like seats and stuff around.
All right. I guess I'm going to roll perception.
For what?
Listening out, seeing if there's someone around here I cannot see.
Ah, okay. I understand.
Wow, I rolled a 3.
Nope. You don't hear, see, feel, smell, taste, anything.
All right, then I guess I'm gonna just walk over to a seat and take a seat. I'll wait for the receptionist to come through.
All right. So you take a seat, and a few minutes later, out from the hallway, a very pretty young woman, long blonde hair down to like past her shoulders, in like a nice dress, high heels, carrying a tablet. She's got like some AR glasses on. And she walks in, and she's like, "Oh, you must be the new intern, Mr. Smith, is it?"
Yes.
He's like, "Ah, great." He's like, "Well, you can take a seat here behind the counter with me, and like, I have to go and deal with some appointments that Mr. Zanthorpe has for later this afternoon. So, would you mind watching the desk for me while I go and settle some of those accounts?"
Not at all. I'll get up and walk over to the desk.
Alrighty, and then you would receive like an AR file that's just the Johnson's schedule for the day, and it's pretty packed. However, after every meeting, there is a minimum of a half an hour that's just called smoke break, and you would assume that means the ingestion of further narcotics, because the Johnson needs that to keep himself sane in this corporate environment. Basically, you sit behind the desk. It's a pretty nice desk. There's the stationery, the notebooks, the computer, the fancy schmancy. Like the desk is like pretty minimalist. It's like white with like rounded edges. It has a computer terminal built into it with a keyboard built into like the top of the desk. There's like some paper, some stationery, some like a clipboard. There is some like paperwork for like meetings and stuff like to make an appointment, like invoices. There's like a stapler, some paper clips, clamps, different stuff like that, pens, pencils, stuff like that. And the actual secretary, she takes her leave out the door, and a few minutes later, the door opens once again. And this time, it is an older man in his probably late 50s, early 60s, and he's wearing an incredibly impeccable suit. You would assume it's probably more expensive than the one that the Hermes Johnson is currently wearing. And he has this massive golden watch around his wrist, and he's got a nice gold tie, a yellow undershirt, a nice gray suit jacket, suit slacks, dress shoes. He has like a designer's solid gold belt buckle, and he walks in, and he got a big cane, and he walks in, and he's like, "Oh, you're not Janice."
No, I'm Mr. I've already forgotten his name.
The Johnson, Xanthorpe is
Yeah.
his last name.
I'm Mr. Xanthorpe's new assistant. How may I assist you?
And he's like, nice to meet you, Sonny. He's like, I'm, oh God, what would this guy's name be? Probably be like Thomas. Thomas Whitford. And he's like, I'm Thomas Whitford. Uh, I'm Mr. Xanthorpe's direct superior. I was wondering if he's in his office at the moment and available for a word.
Well, I'll check the schedule, I guess, and I assume he's in a meeting.
Yes, he's currently in a meeting.
Well, Mr. Xanthorpe is in a meeting right now, but he'll be free in about, and I'll just say, rattle off the time to the next smoke break.
Yeah, it's probably like I think the meeting could probably be only like a half an hour. So yeah, like he'll be free in like an hour. Okay. So Mr. Whitford, he's like, that's a shame. Like, well, I suppose I'll be back in an hour then. He's like, tell him that I was asking for him if you wouldn't mind.
Of course.
And he's like, all right, well, have a, welcome to the company, Sonny. And then he turns and hobbles back out the door into the hallway.
Cool. I guess I'll shoot the Johnson a message being like, a certain Thomas Woodman wanted to speak to you.
And he texts back like an angry face emoji. And he's like, that stupid old man trying to, he's probably there to lecture me about something he thinks I did or whatever. And he's like, thank you for sending him away. I'll be with him after my current meeting. And then a few minutes after that, a young woman walks into the office that is not Janice, the secretary. You would recognize her as Ms. Colleen Richards. She is, unless Cairo shared the background info on them, you would just know that she's one of the interns you're supposed to investigate.
I'll share background infos. Yeah.
Okay, yes, you know that she is a marketing major at the local Ivy League college. She's got pretty good test scores. Used to be a track athlete and like a gymnast and stuff. Very pretty, mid-20s. And she's wearing like an all black, like skin tight, like dress. Pretty short skirt. Comes up just to like her knees, barely to her knees. She has black AR glasses on, black hair tied in a ponytail at the back of her head, and she has like a tablet in her arms. And she walks in, and she's like, "Oh, I'm here to see Mr. Xanthorpe."
Well, he is in a meeting right now, I'm afraid. I suppose I could pin you down for him later, if you'd like.
He's like, yes, I would appreciate it. He's like, I'm here on behalf of my charge. She's like, well, I haven't seen you here around before. Are you new too?
Yes, actually. The name's What was my name? John Smith?
Yeah, something like that. Like Adam, things like Joe Smith, something like that. I don't know, one of the two. She's like, pleasure to meet you, Mr. Smith. I'm Colleen Richards. She extends the hand out to you.
Well, get up, I'll shake the hand. Nice to meet you as well. And of course I do as any gentleman is inclined to, and I steal her face.
Oh God. Okay. Cool. I will note that down. That you've stolen the face of Colleen Richards. Cool. Alrighty. She's like, alrighty, well, hope you've been enjoying your new job so far.
But yeah, everything has gone well. I think Hermes might be the place for me.
She's like, yeah, I'm feeling that too. And she kind of like sits down, on the chair across from your desk. And she kind of like leans her elbow on the desk, and she's like, like, have you do you, like how do you know your boss? Well, is he a nice guy? Does he seem nice? Because mine's kind of a jerk.
Oh, well, I suppose I haven't known Mr. Xantho for a terribly long time, but he seems to be a good guy from what I know.
He's like, well, that's good. He's like, yeah. My mentor is, I suppose you would call him disagreeable. Very
Oh?
demanding, I suppose.
We've got a
And
spy,
who might
kids.
that be?
What? Oh, you ask like who
Yes,
He
she
said,
works for?
who might that be?
And she would give you like the name of a random executive that's like probably one of the Hermes Johnson's subordinates.
Ah, I see.
And she's like, speaking of bosses and stuff, she's like, you must be pretty good at your job. Come pretty highly recommended to have gotten an internship for Mr. Xanthorpe. He's pretty high up in the food chain here.
Well, it's I suppose, my test scores and all that. Put in the effort, get rewarded.
She's like, yeah, tell me about it. And she's like, well, I'll better get back to it before I get an aggravated phone call again. So I'll see you. I'll see you in a few hours, I suppose. Then.
Of course. And I'll, wave her off. And I'll put, something down in, a note on the schedule or whatever for the
Okay.
actual secretary.
Yeah. Okay, you can do that. Yeah, you can like, add her into the schedule or whatever. Alrighty. And the rest of your little bit of time goes by pretty uneventfully. Eventually, Janice does come back, and she.
Actually,
Yeah, want to do anything?
during my downtime,
Mm-hmm.
might I be able to see what this computer has access to?
This computer would have access to the Johnson's schedule. It would have access to like the internet. It would have access to the like contact information for like the Johnson's chauffeur and his other staff members, and like email information for all of his subordinates and their subordinates and their subordinates, etc. Yeah, like anything that would be necessary for a secretary to have access to do their job, basically.
Message Boyd and be like, hey, on my way up, got information on the possible spy. Have you learned anything else?
I'll just say, X person like Colleen showed up. She wanted to meet with the Johnson, and she told me she works for like X person.
Interesting. So we've got 2 confirmed. Alright, cool.
Alrighty. So now we'll cut to Bonus and Knox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So after, the rest of them went on their way and stuff, and Wade went to Johnson's office and kind of went to the IT to the server room. You and Bonus were told to follow the Johnson to his meeting. So you guys get in the elevator with him. You climb to like the 40-something floor, and you enter one of the conference rooms where there is a group of like a dozen other guys in suits seated at this like big glass table in their swanky rolling office chairs. And at the far end of the room, there's like a projector in the ceiling and like a blank kind of flat metal white wall for them to project onto. And Johnson kind of, as he walks in, he's like, you two can just, stand on either side of me and look intimidating. He's like, I have some disciplining I have to do some of my subordinates.
Okay.
And so he walks to the front of the room. You and Bonus flank him on either side. And Johnson's like, morning, gentlemen. It's like this. I mean, like, I assume you all know that this meeting was called today to address the recent issues with our import numbers. And then he kind of like takes her picks her from the table. Like, so the table in front of him, the end of the table, has like a clacker on it for like the presentation, and then it also has a golf club just sitting there on the table. And Johnson kind of takes the clacker and he hits the button, and then it turns on, like a PowerPoint pops up and stuff, and it's a big graph, and it shows like the import profits and stuff and revenue from the past like a couple of months, and then it shows like this week it's suddenly declined dramatically. And Johnson's like, and so as you can all can see, this month's numbers are dramatically lower than previous months, and I was just wondering if anyone had any suggestions as to what could possibly be causing this kind of a dip in productivity, and if anybody then had any suggestions for fixing it. And it doesn't take a genius to see that everybody, all the other guys in the room, the other executives, are like terrified. They're like looking at each other side-eyed. They're like looking at you two, looking at the Hermes Johnson, like scared, sweating.
I have a feeling that there's in an alternate universe a secret button he presses and it ejects someone out of their chair to their doom.
Yeah, and it drops them to the lava pit below the. Yeah, so the 39th floor is a lava pit floor, and the 40th floor is the conference room floor, just for that reason.
How convenient.
That's a K6 thing right there for sure. But yeah, so one of the older employees is like, Santhorpe, before we get into this, why did you bring your 2 goons in here with you? And Johnson's like, tisk tisk tisk, Mister.
Mr. A.
Yeah, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Anderson. And he's like, tisk tisk tisk, Mr. Anderson. He's like, you people should know why I'm have my goons in here. He's like, I feel unsafe in my working environment when I'm working with such idiots as yourselves. Like, my answer is the question. And Mr. Anderson just kind of like goes silent and stares at his cup of coffee in front of him. And after like a good minute of awkward silence and staring, the Hermes Johnson is like, "Well, I guess nobody wants to fess up then." And he's like, "Fine, I guess I'll have to be the bearer of bad news." And he points to one of the other guys, and he's like, "You there, Henry? Come on up, buddy." And Henry's like, he points at himself, and Johnson's like, "Yes, you retard, get up." And Henry gets out of his chair, and Johnson's like, "Come on, stand over here, stand by me. I'm not gonna bite you." And Henry walks over, and Johnson's like, "So, Henry, like, would you care to explain exactly what?" He kind of puts his hand on Henry's shoulder, and like kind of like wraps his arm around him, and like squeezes him really close to himself. And it's this moment you realize that Hermes Johnson is like not like a bodybuilder muscular, but he's athletic. He's certainly not a weak, scrawny guy. And he kind of squeezes the Henry in his arm. He's like, care to explain what this is, Henry? And Henry's like, "Oh, I don't, sir, I don't, I terribly sorry, but I." And he's just like stumbling over his words. And Hermes Johnson is like, "Oh, you're sorry, are you?" And then he punches him in the stomach super hard. And the young kid, probably like early 20s, probably fresh out of college, he doubles over and he vomits onto this like very nice white gray carpet. And
You vomited? Oh no.
yeah, and he's like choking and like gagging, and he's like holding his stomach on the ground, and Johnson begins to scream. And he's like, "You think I know my people are stealing from me, huh?" And he kicks him super hard in the stomach, and he like rolls over to the side. He's like, "You think you can screw me?" And then he takes the golf club and he begins to beat this kid to death, basically. And he wails on him for a good like 30 seconds, just beating him with a golf club, kicking him. And the other executives in the room are white, and they all shuffle their office chairs to the other end of the room. They're all like freaking out, and Johnson just like beats this kid unconscious, basically. And after a good 30 seconds of screaming profanities and slurs and aggravated just expletives at this guy, Johnson stops, and he kind of adjusts. The golf club is like bent in half. The golf club is destroyed. And he hands the golf club to Bonus, and he's like, "Hold this." And he kind of like adjusts his tie, flattens out his suit jacket. He takes out a comb and readjusts his hairdo. He's like, "Oh, now then, to business." And he turns to you and Bonus, and he's like, "Would you two mind taking this failure of an employee down into the basement to be done in the alleyway out back for the rat and the homeless to dispose of for me?"
Sure.
And you take him by the shoulders, and Bonus grabs the legs, and you begin to carry him out the door. And yeah, his face is messed up. Like he's like unrecognizable. Like his nose is destroyed, his jaw is dislocated, he's got teeth missing, both of his eyes are swollen shut, he's bleeding profusely from different cuts on his head. Like he's bruised, he's got vomit and blood all over his shirt. He's just like a mess. Like he's gonna need like a bionic implants, bionic eyes, bionic jaws after this. Assuming he even survives. And as soon as you leave and the door closes, you hear the Hermes Johnson be like, "So, who wants to go next?" And all the executives are like, No, please no. And you guys bring the unconscious body into the elevator. You descend to the ground floor, and following your map that you were so kindly provided by the Hermes Johnson, you bring him out back to the alleyway. And you kind of like the back door of the building opens, and you guys, you and Bonus, like 1, 2, 3, heave ho him into the gutter, basically. And as you're wiping your hands off and going to turn inside, you see another guy doing the exact same thing as you are, and it is nobody else but Mr. Chad Bradley. And he is this super built, muscular, very broad-shouldered, very athletic, wide head, big nose, strong jawline, deep blue eyes,
Please tell me he's just the actual Chad blonde hair mohawk picture.
No, he has very very short crew cut blonde hair, not a blonde mohawk. He's wearing like a suit, but it's kind of like a low quality suit. It's all like wrinkled and it's like, well, it's a high quality suit, but it's wrinkled and not like his shirt's not tucked in properly. He looks like a mess. And he's also dumping an unconscious body in the gutter. And he sees you guys and he's like, "Oh, what's up, bros?" And Bonus, you just hear Bonus mutter through his mask, "Jesus Christ."
uh,
And Bradley walks up and he's like, "Ah, sick. You guys are also, taking out the trash. You know what I'm saying?"
yeah.
It's like, sick, radical. And then he just like pats you and Bonus on the back. And he's like, "Oh, I don't recognize either of you broskies. You guys new here?"
You can say that, yeah.
I was like, cool. Like, you guys like interns or like employees or like what? What's the dealio?
He told us to say whatever, right?
Yeah, well, he told you to say that. Yeah, you guys were our interns.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that. Like, we're interns.
Like, oh, for real? Sick, dude. So am I, bro. He's like, so who do you guys work for?
What was his obnoxious name again? Something?
Xanthorpe, Braden
Xanthorpe?
Xanthorpe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Chad's like, oh, really? Oh, he's pretty like high up in the chain, you know? Like, he a cool dude. I've only like seen him in the hallways and stuff, you know?
Yeah, he pretty cool. Pretty chill, you know. Even though
Like,
he dumped the dead body he beat for 30 seconds.
Chad's like, well, I seem like a pretty, I don't know, strong dude to cause those kinds of wounds. And he points to the unconscious guy in the gutter who's like now coming to consciousness and he's like groaning in agony, like, ah.
That 20-year-old intern was a spy the whole time.
Yes, the man you've beaten into that he beat into a pulp was actually the spy the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is no one gonna put that man out of his misery?
We're not supposed to.
Yeah, he's still an employee. He's not, only the Johnson can kill people. All right, that's the law.
I mean, that's fair.
Yes, the laws for
bro.
corporations are weird. What did you say?
Said exactly.
Yeah,
Can't kill him. We just gotta,
exactly.
let him be.
Yeah, gotta dump him in the gutters. We knows his place, you know.
Exactly. Chad gets it.
Yeah, the shit's like, yeah, man, I had to do the same thing like 2 minutes ago, bro. He's like, this guy walks into my boss's office, and he's like, dude, you should have given me a raise like 2 months ago. And so, my boss, right, he just like goes underneath his desk and he takes out like a stun baton and just starts like wailing on this dude over there, man. It's pretty sick nasty. And then he turns to you and Bonus. And he's like, so like you bros look like you're pretty muscular, you know? Do you work out?
Hell yeah. Every time I finish a job, go home, work out, get that late night workout protein shake too. Yeah.
He's like, oh, for real? Oh, I do the same thing, broski.
Sick.
Bonus is just like groaning under his breath. Tired.
He's like, I'm too old for this
my
shit.
god. Yeah, he's like, these damn kids. What is he saying? I don't speak youngster. But like, it's super sick, bro. He's like, he's like, what's your favorite supplement, bro?
Supplement? Fucking glitch.
He's like, nice. And then, he just starts talking
Not
like,
sponsored.
yeah, he just starts talking like workout stuff with you for like however long you're gonna put up with him being there. He'll talk to you.
Bro, well, considering that I got, like, I'm assuming everyone got case files on everyone we're targeting, yeah?
Yeah. Cairo sent the stuff that you know about everybody to everybody.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then I'm gonna just, ask him a few questions, be like, so how'd you get here? Like, what led you to working in this place,
Like, oh, my dad, he works for the branch out in like Texas, and I came here to go to school, and I'm not doing so hot, so my dad was like, you're gonna get a job at Hermes, and I'm gonna get you an internship there, and you're gonna go and you know be like your old man or whatever. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to listen to you, old man.
Oh man.
And this entire time, he's like making really like gangster hand motions. White guy, but he's like like making gangster hand motions and like talking with his hands a lot, like an absolute total dude, bro. You can almost see the backwards baseball cap on his head, even if it isn't actually there. You can just feel its presence.
Dubra,
Yeah, man. I'm like, yeah, man, my dad, he got me this job. I want to be here. I could be like working out or like out with the boys, clubbing, getting girls. He's like, no offense, man, you're pretty sick nasty, but
Cool. It's understandable.
now I'm stuck here. I'm in this stupid job. Like I gotta wear like a tie. Ugh. And you just hear Bonus make a comment about like this generation being lazy or whatever.
Oh my god. Bonus wants to die.
Yes, the
That's
bonus
what
is
I got for this. Bonus wants to die.
Bonus is the guy. Bonus, you probably heard him on the elevator ride here. He's probably like, I wish I was the guy who got to beat up this dude, not the Hermes Johnson.
I could do it better than him.
He's like, I could
Starts
do it better.
wailing on him in the elevator.
It's like his form is terrible. This is a real man does it, and he just like beats him even more.
Oh my god. All right. So his father wanted him to work here, out from Texas.
Yeah, man.
Is where his father works.
Yeah, he works for Hermes out in Texas. My dad's like the manager of like I think he
Is
would say
Dakota or
like
him forgetting?
probably both, to be honest. I think he said his dad's like the manager of like um road-based logistics or something like that in and out of the city of Austin or something like that. The car guy, basically.
Car guy.
The truck guy, specifically, the 18-wheeler guy.
Okay. Well, when did you start working here?
Like, oh, it's every like a few days ago, like a week ago maybe. I don't know.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that, man.
Okay. What else should I even ask him? What else would you ask a mercenary without trying to, expose your plans?
Do you kill people?
Do you kill people for a living?
Are you working for Premier Wiring, perchance? Are you a corporate
Yeah.
spy?
I'll ask him. Oh wait, actually, that's a good question. I'd be like, well, first I'll ask him. Like, well, what school did you go to that you weren't doing so hot?
He gives you the name of like the local like. I guess it'd probably be the equivalent of like Montclair here in New Jersey, but like corporatized,
Corporatized Montclair, huh?
Yeah, and he's like, it's like, and I failed like half my classes, like, but it's because like I spend my time practicing, man. I gotta, I'm there in like a football scholarship, so I have to spend my time practicing and keep it on my game because if I don't do well enough in the sport, then they'll kick me out. So my dad's like, son, you gotta do better in your classes or whatever, and I'm like, man, you can't have both ways, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. So first time working like a security guard or not?
Like, well, back when like high school or whatever, I used to be like a bouncer for like a club, but that was kind of like off the books. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. What else is part of his thing that we know? We just know his
He was
where he,
major.
what
He's a
school he went
communications
to.
major. You know that much.
Oh yeah, I'm asking that. I was like, well, what was your major?
Like, oh, majoring in communications. Like, I don't really know what I want to do because I'm not really there for like the classes. So it's like I'm trying to go pro, pro football. So
Hmm.
I just picked communications because it seemed like easy. It's not.
God, how do you interrogate a chat?
Be a big nerds lately. Oh god.
Oh my god. All right. I guess that'll be it for now.
He's like, all right, well,
I don't think Bonus wants to be here any longer.
no, Bonus has been like tapping his hand on the hilt of his pistol the entire time. And he tries like, all right, bro, well, I'll see you two Salty Sea Dogs later, and then he like walks back in the building.
Turn to Bonus. I'm like, I'm sorry.
He walks up to the building and begins smacking his face against the brickwork of the building. He's like that kid. He hurts my soul to be around. He's like, but do you think he's legit?
I mean, he held up the Chad facade for the whole time.
I mean, you feel Bonus squinting at you through his mask. He's like, that doesn't really
Like,
mean much. Anybody can act.
yeah. Based on everything he said, it was fine. I didn't get any weird like mannerisms, if that makes any sense. I mean, I'll have to ask if there is like another person, like if his family background, you know, checks out. But
Bonus,
so far, if he's a spy, he's got everything down pat. The only way to test him is to see if we can kill him, and if he survives, then we still kill him.
Bonus is like, yeah, maybe we don't just go walking around gunning down random employees because we might have a hunch that possibly these guys are corporate spies.
Okay, so we capture them all, put them in a room with a gun with one bullet.
And see who kills who.
Exactly.
I feel like that probably would be like a team bonding exercise for Hermes that the Johnson would have. It's like, all right, everybody, this is a loaded revolver. We must pick one of you to die. And then like they're like, oh my god, who would we pick? And then after like hours of deliberation, they pick somebody to shoot. And like a bit of blank the entire time. And then Hermes Johnson is like, all right, well, that's a great bonding exercise, ladies and gentlemen. But the guy who you would have shot, you're fired. And then that's how he picks his interns. Anyway, yeah, so Bonus is like, yeah, we better go back upstairs to make sure that those executives don't jump our boss while we're down here.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So at this point, we all reconvene back at the Johnson's office. You guys, Bonus and Knox, head back up to the conference room right as the meeting is ending, and Johnson's like, all right, dirtbags, bring those numbers back up, or one of you is gonna be like Henry out there. All right, you hear me? All right, I'll talk to you next week. Have a good day now. And they all like begin shuffling out like hurriedly. and he turns to you guys and is like, well, that went well, don't you?
I mean, sure.
Yeah, I think I got my point across. He's like, well, to my office we go. And he leads you both up to his office on like one of the upper floors. And again for dramatic timing, right as Cairo also arrives in the office, so you all walk in as Janice and Oid, disguised as John Smith, are seated behind the desk, tapping away at their computers. And yeah, you all arrive at the office. And Johnson's like, visit my favorite new intern. He's like, please, come into my office. And like the door opens on its own, and he walks in.
I gotta make sure I act my job. You know, I pat down Cairo. You know, make sure you got no guns on him.
You find a grenade. No, I'm kidding.
I pull the pin.
Interesting.
Pull the pin. We all die. Great.
I don't think I'd have my guns on me now.
Yeah,
You only have your stun baton, which is inside of you. So.
Exactly.
Person wallet.
Spread them
Yeah.
cheeks, bro. I gotta do a thorough search.
Squat and cough, Cairo. Come on.
I'm only doing the job, bro. I'm doing the job.
Little did you know, I'm a clench master.
That's canon now. That's canon. It's an airtight
Cairo
seal.
can canonically clench his cheeks so hard, he can turn common coal into diamond.
God.
He's the iron bun workout.
They call him the Iron Butthole. Alrighty, but yeah, so you all walk into Johnson's office, and it's pretty minimalist, except for the back wall is all windows, but like, so you walk in, and the wall behind you, like that has a door on it, hanging on the wall is like, a whole like shark, like a stuffed shark, pinned against pinned against the wall, and it's like the only wall ornament in this office. It's very weird. And Johnson, he takes a seat behind his desk, and he's like, "So, give me an update. What have we learned so far? What do we got?" He's like, "Oh yeah,
Well,
Mr. Marquinius or whatever the hell your name is." He's like, "That flash drive you mentioned."
all right, yeah, I'll pull it out and give it to him.
Like, all right, like let's see what this unknown mole was trying to get out of my company. And he plugs the USB into his computer, and he types away for a second, and he's like, looks like we've got definitely a corporate spy, whoever was trying to use this USB drive. He's like, they were trying to steal some updated blueprints for some of our newest White Knight class drones.
Hmm.
They're pretty sweet. They got a missile launcher on the back.
Ah. Definitely not terrifying.
Like, oh,
Pretty
he definitely. We got plenty more where that came from. Have you guys not been downstairs yet to the drone garage?
There's a drone garage?
What do you think we are? Xenocorp? No, of course we got the drone garage.
Fair point.
Like, but that can come after during your lunch break. Now's work. Like, so, sit rep, bring me up to speed, folks. What do we got? What do we who do we suspect?
Cairo's already reported his findings.
Like, sorry, so as I understand it, we suspect so far Mr. Potts as being certainly an agent involved. Do we suspect anybody else, or is it just him so far?
Well, I'm thinking Chad's off the list, right? Chad doesn't seem like type.
Nah, but he's the one you'll never suspect.
He is the one you would never suspect.
Oh yeah, I turned to Johnson and I go, By the way, is there a legitimate Mr. Bradley in Texas?
And he's like, I can certainly look that up. And he types away on a computer. He's like, there is a Mr. Bradley that works as the manager of, road imports for the city of Austin, Texas. It'll just be Austin because Texas doesn't exist anymore. And he's like, but yeah, and he's like, he seems to exist. I'm gonna let him roll to see how good he gets, how much info he can dig up. And he rolled a 1.
He has kids.
He's like, well, he definitely exists, but that's all I can find for.
Kyra's gonna go to the Johnson, if I may.
He's like, yeah. What do you need? What do you want? What are you thinking?
I'll take a look for you. See if I can find out anything else.
Like, sure.
Rolls at 2. Yeah, his birthday's on the 12th.
I rolled a 9.
You find that he does in fact have a son. His son's name is Brad Bradley, not Chad Bradley.
Interesting. Never mind. Chad's back on the list because
I told you.
because his son's name is not Chad, it's Brad. So this guy's definitely not too bright.
And the Johnson's like, Brad Bradley. What a name. Anyway,
Anything on Colleen?
Well, she told me who she worked for, but beyond that, I don't really have anything on her.
Johnson will verify who she works for if you want her to, or if you want him to verify that.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. Yeah, he does. He verifies that she does work for the person that she said. She does. She is a legitimate intern for that guy. So.
Now, do you have any qualms with this person?
That's gonna be a check by the Hermes Johnson. He rolled a 2. He's like, well, I don't think so. He's like, he's one of my subordinates. He runs shipping and he runs shipping from one of the docks down by the coast.
Would he have any reason to want to throw you under the bus?
Well, everybody below me would. They want my job, Like, and
Well,
if they were to get me caught for hiring you folks as mercenaries, then that might give them a bit of a better chance at taking my promotion.
Well, so far, I can confirm that Jeremy Potts is. We can confirm that Chad and Colleen are. The only ones we haven't really met yet are Andrew and Maxwell.
And he's like, well, I think Maxwell works for my boss, Mr. Whitford. He's like, and well, he turns to Oyd, and he's like, well, Mr. Smith, you said that Ms. Richards came by asking for me, so give her a call, and we'll have her come in and talk to her.
And we'll drug her.
Johnson looks at you, and he's like, no, we're going to interrogate her.
And then dispose of her?
She's guilty.
Well, all right then.
Case,
and then after that,
should we also call in Chad and Jeremy?
And Johnson's like, if you feel like having them all in the same room is a good idea.
Definitely not.
That is true. But I can say this much. If we interrogate them one at a time, we can use the other's words against them. So my line of thinking is this: we invite Colleen in, right? We tell
Mhm.
her we've already talked to the others,
Mm.
and they've given her up.
Mm-hmm.
Is everybody in agreement? And see what her reaction is.
Johnson's like, it's pretty clever of you there, buddy. I'm slowly becoming more and more.
Say that again.
Hey, Peter.
Okay, so basically what we do is we call in each one of them one at a time, tell them that we interrogated the others,
And that they
and that
ratted them out.
they ratted out that person.
Yeah.
So we call in Colleen, tell her that the others ratted her out, see what she says, knock her unconscious, and then call the others in one at a time.
Hmm.
Johnson thinks that's a pretty good plan. He thinks
And
it's
then
pretty
tell
clever.
them all the same thing.
Yeah, that they all
So
ratted
like
each other out.
so like we call in Chad, oh, you know, your friends ratted you out. You're a spy. See what the reaction is. If they don't say, if they're like, what are you talking about? Then we go to heightened interrogation.
And we sit him down and get the thumb screws.
Hey, man, Bonus still has his combat knife, so.
Exactly.
I'm just saying,
Exactly.
does anyone have a big enough suppressor for my deagle?
I mean, I have my guns that have suppressors, but I don't have them on me.
Yeah, well, Johnson says that, like, if you guys need guns, he can literally just, like, ask his secretary, Janice, to go outside and 3D print some pistols for you and then bring them inside.
Actually, you know what? Let me do that.
Okay, you want him to have some cheap guns made for you?
Yeah, sure.
Like, all right. He said that they're on the house. You know, they're part of like the, mission expenses. So he gives you like a really cheap 3D printed semi-automatic pistol from Own Security, the super cheap 3D printable.
Does it have a suppressor?
Yes, it does. It's
Okay, good.
integrally suppressed. So
Nice. All right, yeah, that'll do. All right, let's call in the first one.
all right. So then he turns to Mr. Oid and he's like, "Would you mind shooting Ms. Richards a quick text for me then?"
Sure thing.
Would you kindly?
Would you kindly? Alrighty, yes, you do so, and she's like, "Alright, I'll be there real quick." And then, like, 5 minutes goes by, and she walks in through the door. And she sees you all standing there
So-
ominously.
Well,
So the better
no.
question.
Cairo's gonna hide or stand like right by the door, on the side, like off to the side of the door. I suggest that one other person, probably Oid, does that too.
My question is, do I pat her down now or later?
I think you're just looking for a chance to feel her up, to be honest.
Well, technically, Nox,
Yeah.
you can scan her for any kind of like listening devices or anything.
Yeah, you've got the,
Yeah, I guess I'll have that on, the AI shit.
okay. The electromagnetic stuff.
Yeah.
She has 2 bionic eyes, and they are actively, streaming.
Streaming.
Yes, to some other source. You don't know where, but
Okay,
All
so
right,
Cairo,
well,
as soon as
hold
she
on.
jumps in, Cairo's gonna. Oh, okay, yeah, go for it.
Because I'm gonna, like, with the sub vocals, I'm so glad I got that. I don't gotta say anything out
Oh
loud.
yeah.
Yup. Yeah. If everyone's got an earpiece, then I'll definitely, be like,
yeah,
yeah,
those pieces.
she's recording this conversation as we speak through her eyes.
And then that's when Bonus takes out his knife and stabs her in the eye. Eh.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, I could probably jack in, right?
If
I mean, the
you
last
could,
thing she'll ever see is the Johnson's face and then shut down.
yeah. I mean, you could intercept the stream and do that.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay. Make me actually yes. You make your 1d10 roll, and I'll make my basic hacking check. It's only 1d4 difficulty. This is an internet connection that you're already accepted.
Oh, that's a crit success.
So you definitely succeed. So you intercept the stream. She is of course streaming
Can I
her
interfere?
yeah, you can prevent it from reaching its destination.
Nice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put up the Xenocorp logo.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cut out the audio.
Okay. So yeah, so you do that.
Corporate espionage.
Yeah. So she walks in, and you guys disable her as she sits down. She's like, "Oh well, good morning, Mr. Xanthorpe. I was glad that you had the time to squeeze me in for a quick meeting after your earlier meeting." And he's like, "Yes, please take a seat, please. Don't mind my companions here. They just, my new interns." And she's like, "Oh yeah, I spoke to Mr. Smith over there a little bit earlier," and she like waves at you.
I'll wave back. I'm like, well,
I'm gonna send the Hermes a message saying lock the door.
All right. He like hits a button underneath his desk, and because you're near the door, you hear like magnets like, yeah.
All right. Shall we begin?
Johnson just kind of like gestures forwards, like, "Please." And now she kind of like looks around and is like, what's going on?"
I'm gonna go over to Bonus and ask for his knife really quick, but keep it like subtle. Like I'm gonna like face him and like have him like pass me his knife like very subtly.
Okay. I'm gonna roll an agility check for him to do it subtly.
A subtly check, yeah.
He rolled almost a 2, but we got a 6, so it's fine. Yeah, so he passes it to you, and she doesn't seem to notice.
So I'm gonna turn back around and hold my hands behind my back, knife in my hand, and I'm gonna just walk over, and I'm gonna tell her like, all right, Miss Colleen, we've talked to your friends, and your friends have already given you up, so lying to us is useless. Now, what do you know about spying? And I'm gonna like slowly bring the knife out and hold it to her throat.
So you say like, "Oh, you take your friends." She's like, what?" So she turns to the Hermes Johnson. She's like, "Mr. Xanthorpe, but this is ridiculous. You can't. What is this?
Now, I'm going to prevent you from saying another word because I did detect the stream that you had going from your eyes to another source, and I have already intercepted it. They won't be seeing or hearing anything. So you might want to use this opportunity to tell us the truth, and don't act dumb, because we know you're lying."
Good Payday 2 song. So she like stops, and after you say like, I intercepted the stream and stuff, she kind of like her demeanor changes entirely, and it goes from like, nervous and innocent to like totally deadpan and serious.
Bro,
And
you should make her have a French accent. She drops her American accent.
No, she's aggressively.
She's a Frenchman.
She's aggressively
She's the Frenchman.
Russian. she is the Frenchman. She's Japper's rival.
Aggressively Russian.
It is me, Mr. Boyard, in time. I've been here for weeks. You never knew. It was me all along. No,
It's like a damn fiddle.
No, so she actually aggressively Russian? No, I'm kidding. So she just like, like sits back down, and she kind of like holds her hands up very slowly. She's like, all right, fine. Like, what do you want?
All your
Who are you
money.
spying on the Johnson for?
All your money. She's like, man, I was just paid to do a job. Like I assume you were.
By who?
He's like, who do you think? And she turns to Johnson and is like, you know who I'm talking about. And Johnson like leans in, and he puts his, clasps his hands together, and he puts them under his chin, lifts them on his desk, and he's like,
I knew it. Your wife was in on it the whole time.
Hermes Johnson's like, I don't have a wife. Incorrect.
Exactly.
Bachelor for life.
Yeah, man, for sure. And he's like, so it was Mr. Whitford then? And the woman's like, yes, it is, very obviously so.
Now, my question is, what should we do with you?
And she turns to the Hermes Johnson, and she's like, you can't kill me. He's like, I work for somebody else. I work for a different company. We wouldn't want to.
So how does that prevent us from killing you?
Yeah, how does that prevent us from killing you? How does that give you any leverage here?
Like,
If, in that case, we should kill you and then throw your body in an incinerator.
Like, well, we wouldn't want any more suspicion to come down on Mr. Zenthorpe here, would we?
Well, you see, no suspicion would come upon him. If we were to off you and toss your body in, say, a packing plant or, oh, I don't know, an incinerator, we could just say that you went on vacation and never came back.
Oh,
We're
we should
very
take
good
her on
liars.
vacation with us, and then dump her.
Don't say that!
He's like, you're going on vacation soon. Where are you going?
Don't say anything. Don't
To
say
your
anything.
mom's house.
She chuckles and she's like, classic. I walked right into it.
You did.
But
I
anyway,
set you up the whole time.
anyway, we could just say that you and your friends went on vacation.
She's like, look, you can do whatever you want with me. She's like, I don't care. Like, I'm here doing my job. I was paid to do this, so I'm here and I'm doing it.
Now, there's one condition where I let you live. And that is, you erase the video that you've been streaming. You go out of this office saying that you don't know why your camera's cut out, but all you did was have a normal conversation with Mr. Xander. That is the only scenario where you make it out of this alive. And if you do leave this office and tell whoever you're streaming to what happened, then we will hunt you down and we will toss you from the highest building we can get access to. Is that understood?
And Johnson's
Yeah,
like, and I bought Tenacity Tower a couple hours ago, so I can get a pretty big building.
Exactly. And I've already thrown someone from that building. So are you sure that you want to play this game?
She's like, look, do you want me to get him to get Mr. Whitford to come on up here, or
No. But we want your word that after you leave this room, you will not say anything of what happened.
She's like, no.
And you live.
I won't say a word. My lips are sealed.
Yeah, that's a pretty fucking trusting in a different agent, bro. What the fuck?
She's like, on my word as a mercenary.
All right, now that's a different story.
She's like, I thought
The
so.
better question is, why'd you accept the job? What's the pay, huh?
Well, the pay is $20,000 a piece.
How much you say?
$20K.
Damn.
Pay does not matter, because if you're not alive to get the pay, then, well,
then we'll
it's
get the pay.
pointless. Your friends came before you, they're already dead.
She's like,
Why would you say that?
Why?
She's like,
Can we
it's a
like
shame.
not say that?
Nah, it's too late. It's already been said.
Now we gotta
she
kill
doesn't
everyone
know
else.
that. She doesn't know that.
I'm pretty sure the moment she meets
God.
Chad Bradley walking by, she's like, "Wait a minute,
Wait a minute.
they said you were dead."
It wouldn't really make a difference, because even if she realized that you guys lied, then the worst she could do is warn him. But her damage's already done with her, so she could warn Bradley and be like, "Don't go to the office," or whatever. But that's it.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the Pharaoh's curse on her eyes, or well, on her systems, whatever she has in her, and then we can knock her unconscious and leave her in the office.
All right. Yeah, that's what you guys want to do.
I mean, do we got any other choice?
Mm-hmm.
It's better than killing her, technically.
I guess.
Well, the Joseph does want at least one of them alive so that he can interrogate them for more
Well,
information.
yeah, but after we knock her out, then we can decide what. After we knock them all out, then we can decide what we're gonna do with all of them.
And where are we putting these bodies?
Like, we're not gonna kill them in the office.
Yeah.
We can. Well,
Okay.
technically, we can put her if Xander has a closet or, under his desk. Then
I mean, his desk is, well, it's big enough to fit her under it, but it wouldn't be very comfortable for him to be there.
it's either that or we can hide her in the corner of the room. But like,
He's like, I mean, you guys could bring her into the limousine downstairs or something, I guess. No, actually, like, I could call some of my guys, get them to bring my my van down, and they could take her away to the warehouse that I have set up in advance.
all right, that works.
Like, all right, and he takes out his cell phone and he texts someone and like, all right, they'll be here in a few minutes, and Colleen's just sitting there, just like, so can I go? I won't say anything,
No, I don't think you'll be able to go. Bonus, please escort her to the garage where the van will be, and knock her out.
And then
Yep,
he
definitely.
just turns to Oid, and Bonus turns to Oid, and he's like, jab her in the arm.
All right.
Well, no,
Knock her
actually,
out.
give Bonus the needle because we need her to go
No,
down
the
there
needle is in
conscious.
his arm. He can't take it out.
Well, all right then. Is there a direct elevator that goes from up here to down to the elevator?
Yeah, there'd be in a VIP elevator.
Okay, good. All right, then that settles it. All right then.
All
When
right.
we get back, we'll call it the next one, and then we'll go from there.
Alrighty. So you jab her in the arm. She falls unconscious. And then you guys bring her downstairs. By the time you get down there and everything, you wait a couple more minutes, and a sleek black panel van pulls into the garage. And you guys, well, Bonus, Oid, and Cairo will recognize the guy that gets out as the same guy that used to bodyguard Hermes, and the same guy that took those kids away when you first met the Johnson. This is the same van too.
Ah,
And he opens the door and he plops her down into the back of the van, and he closes it, and he's like, "I'll be waiting here for when you bring the others."
all right. We'll be back with the others then.
That right. And then you guys go back up to his office where Johnson is waiting. Like, all right, so we're gonna who are we inviting up here first or next?
Let's go with Jeremy.
Jeremy, all right, I can get him brought up, and you hear him like he kind of like calls like the IT department, and he's like, yeah, could you send Mr. Potts up here? I've got an IT problem that I need his expertise with. And they're like, yeah, sure, I'll send him right up, Mr. Danthorpe. And he's like, thank you. And then 5 minutes later, Mr. Potts walks into the office, and he's got his like earpiece and his like AR monocle wrapping around his face, and his tablet. And he walks in, and he's like, all right, Mr. Danthorpe, what can I do for you?
Same setup. Knox, do the thing.
And that is?
The electromagnetic thing. See what he's got on him.
Ah, I see.
If he's streaming or not.
Kyle's dead, I think.
Oh no.
I am
Oh
not.
no.
Kyle's dead.
Okay.
He's dead. He's gone. It's over. He's gone.
Sorry.
Roll
Actually,
credits.
I instant transmissioned out of there. I had an urgent call in Planet 42.
I see. Yeah, do you take a look at him via electromagnetic vision?
Yeah, I'll scan him up and down. You know, I'll look at him. I mean, well, I got my glasses on.
Yeah. All right. So you would pick up that he does not have bionic eyes that are streaming. He does, however, have a
But
bionic arm that is hidden. That's covered in flesh. Probably fake skin, but you don't know. And he also would have what's it called? It would basically it is like. Well, actually, make me an intelligence check to see if you would know what this is.
all right, boys. Looks like he has a super hyper ectoplasmic battery.
Oh, that's a
I got
Curse of
a
Oklahoma
6.
reference.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you recognize, so basically next to his heart, he has what you think at first is a pacemaker, and you're like, wait a minute, pacemakers don't have like little mini explosive charges on them, and it's a dead man
I
switch
fucking knew it.
built into him. Yeah.
This guy has a fucking bomb in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
He's
It's a
got
dead
a
man
bomb
switch.
in his chest.
It's a dead man switch.
He
My
has
guy.
the dead man switch. Oh
Yeah.
god. Wait,
Oh.
would I know that dead man switches go off?
When they die, yes. Or if it's remotely
So-
triggered.
Or fuck. I was also
So
gonna
we can
say
knock him unconscious, right?
unconscious, but I also was gonna ask if either myself or through the subvocal shit, if Cairo knows that if he can hack it, it won't kaboom.
I mean, I can try.
Hacking it would prevent someone from remotely detonating it, but if he died, it would still go off.
Okay, so
I can try to hack it to make it not go off on trigger, but we
if
would
you
then have to
fail,
prevent him from killing himself.
yeah, but if you fail, we all die.
No.
Well, then it's not, you think that the bombs are only big enough to blow him up.
Exactly.
Oh, it's not that
Exactly.
kind of dead man switch. I go out with everyone.
No,
It's not an effective dead man
No,
switch.
it's
It's a
just
dead man switch that explodes his heart.
Yes, it's anti-espionage. Like, he can't be captured alive sort of deal.
Oh, okay.
Like
Oh,
a-
so he's
Oh,
definitely a spy.
Like a cyanide tooth kind of deal, but it's a bomb in your chest.
I am like less worried now. Okay. I thought you just gave this guy a fucking suicide bomb and it's like, if you can't
No, he's
have
not
the
gonna-
promotion, no one can.
You're not gonna level the building because he got denied a promotion. No, it's not quite that bad.
Alright, let me see if I can hack this to not let it go off remotely.
Okay.
That- Let me know what you rolled. Let you know what I rolled.
I got a
Next thing you know,
5.
fucking
Oh, I got a 6.
Oof.
Ooh.
All right, so you think that you can intercept, like any kind of incoming signal before it reaches his heart, because you wouldn't be able to like permanently disable it without cutting his chest open anyway. But you
Yeah.
can like you think you have a chance of intercepting a message before it actually detonates the explosive in his chest.
Nice. But other than that, he's not like streaming any audio or
No, he's
any
not.
visuals or
No.
anything.
Nope.
Alright, nice. Mr. Potts, is it?
He's like, yeah, I saw you in the server rooms. What's up?
Now, I've got a few questions for you. We already talked to your friends, and they've already given you up. Tell us what we want to know. And we might.
the door's
Let
still
you
locked, right?
Yeah, he would have. Yeah,
We don't have to say that no more. That's
yeah,
just
no, yeah,
we
he
know.
just-
We know about the bomb in your chest. And we're not going to kill you. Yet.
We're gonna be eating in a few minutes.
So, are you going to give up this entire ploy and tell us that we're correct?
He's like, what friends?
We know you're a spy. There's no use lying to us. The dead man switch on your heart has already been deactivated.
All right, now I need Cairo to make me an agility check to react fast enough to stop the incoming radio signal to blow up his chest.
Oh, that's a 9.
It's 9. All right, so you get like a notification of like incoming signal, like the progress bar. And you're like, oh god! So you quick like tap away on your cell phone for a second, and you just right as it hits like 99%, you stop the signal sending. And
I'm gonna pull the same kind of deal that the hacker that tried to hack my dogs did, and say nice try.
The mysterious signal sends back a sad emoji.
Now,
Do
are
you
you gonna
send him
confirm our
like a huge
suspicions,
fun?
Mr. Potts?
I mean, he kind of looks at the Hermes Johnson, and he's like, "What the heck is this, man?" And Hermes Johnson's like,
Because someone just tried to blow up your heart.
and he's like, yeah, roll initiative.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, so when am I gonna get to tackle this guy?
Oh, you better hope that he rolled high.
He got a 9, so he got
I
a
also got a
15.
9.
Got a 15.
Get fucked, bitch. I got a 10.
Jesus, so you have a 17.
Cairo also rolled a 9.
So you rolled a 9 plus your 5 gives you a 14.
I just don't have to kill him, right?
I mean, you already have Colleen in unconscious, so you can kill everybody else if you need to. Bonus got a 5, so he
We
got
don't
a 10.
we don't need to kill him because killing
So-
him, his heart goes off, and that's
Yeah, true.
kind of a waste.
So
What
I
did,
take out my katana and I slice his head
right,
off.
right through the heart.
That's not okay. I mean, I could if I can get a turn to stab him through the heart. And
What do you get for his initiative?
is it just this one guy that's gonna try to fight the
Yeah.
5 of us?
Yeah,
I think it's more or less the initiative for us to prevent him from killing himself.
or something like that.
Oh,
Because think about it, right? He starts a fight with all of us, and he gets a hit off. Someone's bound to be like, okay, that's it, I'm killing him, but we're all level-headed.
'cause I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do.
I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'm gonna probably just restrain him and knock him out.
That's the point.
Well, what's Oid's initiative first?
Yeah, we need Oid's
4.
initiative.
4? Okay.
Whatever.
7, I think. Or
What was
6?
bonus?
Bonus, he got a 10 in total.
Oh,
Yeah, I rolled a 5. Perfectly average. 6. So yeah, so Oid got a 4, so he gets a 10.
so Nox goes first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he basically like it's really just this tense moment of him staring at between all of you. And then he like twitches and lunges like across the desk at the Johnson, and Maze, you react first, and what do you do?
Well, if he is lunging, I'm just
Yes.
gonna do a fucking.
You could
Shoot him!
You could back bear hug him.
Oh, I was gonna rich hand him in the neck.
And punch him.
Well, it's kind of like that.
That can kill him.
Well, not if you're doing
Yeah.
if you're doing non-lethal damage, then a punch won't kill him.
I mean, whatever. Let me ask you this: is there any way for me
You
right
can
now?
pistol whip him.
That's true. You
Is
could
there any way
whack
for
him.
me right now to just knock him unconscious within 2 moves, and/or one?
Pistol whip.
Yeah, you could beat him, or you could grapple him. Or
I was
grapple
gonna
and then
stab him through the hand.
Can I triangle choke him?
Yeah, that's a grapple. Yes, you can try that.
Hell yeah! I'll grapple check him. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably be around like behind him and then have my arm around his neck and the whole
Yeah.
spiel. So that way he's like losing oxygen, and then his heart slowly starts to explode.
So that
No,
is
his heart
a.
wouldn't explode.
So the grapple check
I
is.
got another 10.
So then add your agility, and I roll strength for him, and add his strength. He got a 9. He got a 14, but you got a 17. So rolled very high,
man.
but you're just
Poor
outright
man.
faster. So yeah, you just like grab him around the neck, and he tries to like break free and resist, and try to like clamber across the desk, and he's like grabbing at like the paperwork and like the holder of pens and pencils, and he can't grab anything, and he can't grab the Johnson. The Johnson's like kicked away from his desk, and he's backing against the window with his eyes wide. And you've got him in a chokehold. That's your first
Don't
action.
kill him.
You can choose to do something else.
I turn to the rest of the group because wait, so right now I'm facing the same way as him. So
Yes.
the only people that can see him, like his chest, is just the Johnson right now, right?
Yes.
So can I turn him around?
You can. So he's facing you. Yes.
No, like so he's facing the rest of the party.
Oh yeah. You can spin him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. If that counts as a move, it counts as a move. But
Yeah.
that's what I'll do.
It kind of as a drag technically, but yeah, you can do that. You
Yeah.
drag him around.
So why are you pointing the explosive at us?
Did we not just say that it will only kill his heart? What? And why would I have it point
Yeah.
at a client?
You could point it at the wall.
Didn't you say you want to do something with him?
Yeah, we want to knock him unconscious because then his heart won't explode.
Fine. If I can't knock him unconscious, I'll face him towards the wall then.
I mean, Oid still has hypo needles.
Oh yeah, that's right. Then that's a long ass turn, bro. I'll just face him towards the wall. I'll be like, think
Okay.
about what you did. I'll put him in timeout while in a chokehold, bro.
All right. So it is now his turn at that point. So he's in this chokehold. He's going to spend his action, or one of his actions, to try and break free. It is a strength check versus your strength check. You'll probably beat him. Oh no, he rolled a 10, so you got a 15 in
Jesus.
total. Or no,
I got an
if
8.
You got an 8 plus a 7. You still beat him. Gosh darn it. Barely.
Poor guy.
Barely. You match, but it goes for the defender, so you beat him. So he manages to like get one of his arms like in between his neck and your arm, and you're about to get it free, but you're just stronger than him, so you just like keep him locked in place. The second action, he's going to from his bionic arm, a pistol like folds out of his hand, and it like his like palm like separates, and a gun barrel pops out a little bit, and he's going to try to shoot the first person he can see. Which,
Well, he's facing a wall.
yeah, probably would have to be Nox then. So he's going to try to put a bullet in Nox's like leg, which is an instant hit because it's point blank range. Do you have ranged armor? I think you do.
Hmm.
Do you?
Let me
Yes,
see.
you do. You
I
have
believe
so
so.
3. So roll. I have to roll damage. It won't matter though. So just roll 1d10 and then what you get.
A 7.
7. Yeah, you barely pass. So yeah, so his arm extends and he puts the barrel of the gun like against like your like leg, or like tries to get like your head, and he presses it against like your shoulder, and it fires, and the bullet like hits Nox's like the top of her like shoulder, and it digs into her jacket, and it ricochets off her jacket, and it smacks into the floor like it sparks, and it's really loud bang. You're in an enclosed space. That's his turn. What of a waste. Up to Pharaoh.
All right. Since bionics or like cybernetics are not really that vital to the human body, they are additions after all. I'm going to like take the knife that Bonus gave me and cut off his hand.
All right, you want
For a second, I
to...
thought you were gonna say his arm. I'm like, we're bleeding him out now.
No, I'm cutting off his bionic hand so he doesn't have a gun to shoot at us.
No, I know that. I just thought you were gonna say his arm. I was like, oh god.
No.
So he's
I wouldn't be
grappled,
opposed
so he
to that.
can't dodge. And Bonus's knife does It does 1d100 damage, and you can do it twice per action if you so want to.
I'm I'm basically going to be chopping through. Well, not chopping, but you know,
Slicing through.
cutting his arm like a steak,
Yeah.
basically. All right, so I'll do it twice. I'll do it twice just to be thorough. That is a 60 and a 90.
All right. Do you want this to be non-lethal damage, or do you want this to just be damage?
Well, non-lethal because I'm just cutting off the hand.
Okay.
It's not like it's connected to anything vital.
Well, I mean, it is electrically connected, but yeah. So you just walk up, and Knox is like pins his gun arm against the wall, and you just walk up, and he just like start like hacking away with this like Bowie knife at his bionic arm, and he put like 2 deep gashes in it, and it's sparking, and like a couple of bullets fall out of the arm where they were kept in like the mag spot, and it like twitches, and his wrist is like at an odd angle, and he's like and that the trauma of like the electrical disturbance short circuits him and knocks him out. So you chop at his arm, and he's like and he just goes limp and knocks his arms in a chokehold.
Yes, we did it. All right, let's get him downstairs.
But the alarms are not going off in the building because a gun went off. And Johnson's like, take him to the elevator. I'll just give a quick call down to security, tell him not to worry about it.
Accidental discharge.
Yeah.
That's all you need to say.
Something like that. And then he just kind of, waves you all off to go and put her downstairs. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Sick.
Nice.
Yeah, an exciting little bit of grappling right there. Close quarters combat.
Very nice. Well, as you all know, thank you for joining us today. If you like what we're doing, you know what to do. Comment, subscribe, leave a like, share it with your friends. And we will see you next time on Quest for the Core.